Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. For today's video, I wanted to touch on a more personal subject matter. As this video title suggests, today I'm going to be talking about anxiety and how that has subsequently been a catalyzing agent for my insomnia. So before I get deeper into the video, I wanted to go ahead and make this claim. Everything that I touch on in this video will be through self-research, self-diagnosis, and self-experimentation, so please take everything with a grain of salt. If you find yourself relating to any of the subject matters that I mentioned momentarily or checking off any of the symptoms and conditions, please actually seek for professional help and expert care. And I know that my suggestion comes out to be hypocrisy as I'm only conducting self-diagnosis. However, I have come a long way in my journey of acknowledging, being aware, and accepting that I am going through all these conditions that have affected my mood, my thinking, and my behavior. Especially when I come from a cultural background where mental health disorders are more so considered a taboo. So it was really difficult to come to terms with this diagnosis. Hopefully I will only better myself on this journey. Okay, so to start off, my self-diagnosis is having generalized anxiety disorder and insomnia. So according to the National Institute of Mental Health, generalized anxiety disorder usually involves in a persistent feeling of anxiety and distress, which interferes with daily life, and it's very much different from your occasional worries and concerns. People living with GAD experience frequent anxiety for months, if not years, and I'll get more into how long I've been suffering with GAD for. Some symptoms of GAD include feeling restless, on edge, being easily fatigued, having difficulty concentrating, being irritable, having headaches, muscle aches, stomach aches or unexplained pains, difficulty controlling feelings of worry, having sleeping problems, such as difficulty falling or staying asleep. With that being said, let's talk a little bit more about insomnia. So I have difficulty falling asleep. That is due to stressful and worrisome thoughts that I experience at night. So it's really strange because I'll either not be able to sleep completely or I'll have what anxiety induces called REM. And REM is rapid eye movement sleep. I should have included sleep, but REM sleep. So during REM sleep, this is a phase when you tend to have vivid dreams. But with vivid dreams, my vivid dreams turn into nightmares. And that causes me to wake up. So here I have two options at nighttime. It's either I don't sleep, or maybe get a few hours of sleep, or B, I experience nightmares if I do sleep. And that resultantly causes me to wake up anyways. So the feeling that I have before bedtime, it's quite strange because when I know that I have to sleep, it's as if my brain wants to go in overdrive and overwork itself on all the concerns and worries of the world. Christina, what are you going to do tomorrow? How are you going to exceed what you've done today? I think about my family, I think about my career, I think about my health, anything and everything you can imagine. And so with that, I start experiencing heart palpitations. I have difficulty breathing, and no matter how hard I try, I won't be able to sleep. So with some of these symptoms that I experience being said, let's get into how it all started. On a random day towards the end of my freshman year of high school, I was not able to sleep. I thought this was a one-time thing. It must have been the caffeine that I had that day, or I listed all the possibilities as to why I may have not been able to sleep because I've never experienced this in my life before. However, the next night I experienced the same thing. And so at this point I went through 48 hours of not sleeping and I didn't know what's wrong with me. This 2-night event soon prolonged into 9 years of my life. And in recent years of self-discovery, I was able to determine that my upbringing had a large role as to why I experienced what I did. I'm sure there are many people that may relate to what I'm about to say, but I come from a background where success is heavily reliant on money and status. And having that type of goal ingrained in you at a young age, that's a recipe for disaster. So without getting too sidetracked, so let's fast forward many years of enervating nights of insomnia and anxiety. Throughout college, I tested anything and everything you can imagine in the books on the interwebs about how to treat insomnia, how to worry less, how to get proper night's sleep. If we're talking about the 4-7-8 method, the meditation techniques, breathing exercises, I've done it all. And so let's lead back to the main point of this video right here. This is how I've addressed my insomnia, and these are some of the techniques that have worked for me. And as I've mentioned before, this is through self-experimentation. Nothing that I've mentioned has been advice sought out by a medical expert. So please take everything with a grain of salt and see what does work and does not work for you. So the first thing that I am going to talk about is bedding properties. And by bedding properties, I am talking about all the bedding accessories that is involved with your bed. I know that there are individuals who like to feel encased when they're sleeping, and so they'll have all these bedding accessories to complement their bed space, with pillows and plushies. However, personally for me, I hate all of that. I cannot sleep with anything more than a pillow and a blanket on my bed. The more items there are in my bed, the more prone I am to having a nightmare because I feel suffocated. I wake up feeling suffocated. And so because I'm aware of this, I don't keep anything on my bed. I only have a pillow and a blanket, and even then, I sometimes don't even have a pillow on my bed because I rarely sleep with a pillow anyways. And number 2, technology. I am aware that, backed up by science research, you should not be on any electronics 30 minutes prior to sleeping. However, that doesn't work for me. Or rather, it may be my stubbornness getting to me that I feel like it's not working, but I need to be on my electronic device. And if you believe in anything involving the circadian cycle and the circadian rhythm, as far as how to regulate your 24-hour internal clock cycle, this may not be the best piece of advice for you, and this might defy what you believe in. But I will have my device up until I reach my bed. I won't reach out for any electronic devices post landing on my bed, but that also means that I am sleeping right after being on my phone, which technically is not 30 minutes prior to sleeping, but it has worked for me. Side note, I am so sorry about the background noise. I am aware that there is a lot of raining and thundering outside, so if you hear all this background noise, please disregard. Okay, point number 3, and again, with the whole circadian rhythm. If you believe in this, this might defy what your beliefs are. It is recommended to have a sleep schedule. However, it doesn't work for me. I will have a tendency of waking up at a certain time, but I will not be sleeping at a certain time. And this is because I don't sleep until everyone else sleeps. I'm a very light sleeper, so any noise that I hear will wake me up, especially because I am living home with family right now. There really is no point in me sleeping early if my parents are going to sleep an hour afterwards, where the noise that they make, walking up the stairs, closing the door, using the bathroom, is going to wake me up anyways. And it actually makes it even worse because I'll have that difficulty falling asleep once again. So I don't sleep until everyone else sleeps. And that is my point 3. Number 4, I will overwork myself throughout the day. And by overwork, I mean I try to exhaust myself in moving around. And if I'm inside the house, by observation, you'll notice that I will move up and down the stairs, go into the kitchen, out of the kitchen, not grab anything, but I'll just move around consistently just to wear myself out, exhaust myself for the night. Granted, there is the aspect of exercising. I know that also works. However, at this moment, I have not been getting into a consistent routine of exercising, so moving around a lot will have to do. It's very enervating. being under the sun as well is very enervating. That's something that I like to do. I'll stand outside for a few moments before stepping back in, because I find that being under the sun is very draining, and it gives me a great night's rest. Number 5, I avoid naps. I know there is a suggestion period of when you should avoid naps, but I avoid naps altogether. Throughout the whole day, I will not nap, and that is because if I nap, I find myself not being able to fall asleep later in the night. Number 6, I wear a sleeping mask, a night sleeping mask. For my friends who do know that I wear a sleeping mask, they make fun of me, they call me a grandma, but it's okay. I have accepted and I embrace all there is to being an old lady. Because I do have light sensitivity, any light that peers into the shades, I just wake up. It's very difficult for me to sleep under brightness, so I like to sleep with a sleeping mask. And finally, I take on meditation / breathing exercises. I actually took a mindfulness class in my final term in college, and through this class I've learned some techniques to be able to overcome stress, anxiety, or momentarily just be in the moment. Forget about the worries of the world, as one may put it. Just be grateful for what you have, especially with this generation of redefining success and putting a heavy emphasis on financial independence by 30, having career stability by 30. By doing some breathing techniques, I'm not constantly being put into a place where I feel like I'm not good enough, I'm not doing enough, I'm not where I need to be in life. Just being grateful for what I have, who I am, is more than enough. And that's something that I think is very important for everyone to remind themselves that at the end of the day, you're more than enough. Focus on yourself. So with the last point being said, these are for the most part what I do, the steps that I take, making sure to reduce the things that provoke my anxiety, my stress, and my insomnia. And if there are any tips and tricks that you think that I should give a try or could possibly work for me, please go ahead and comment that down below. I would love to hear about any other way that I can sleep easier. Honestly, I would love to sleep. That's all I want in life. And there are also other resources that I have provided in the description box below if you would like some references. Again, thank you for watching, and until next time, I appreciate every single one of you guys.